Down, 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 down. Pizza Man has returned. Rogue is ready for a fight. Sarah ready with her sword. Aqua to keep the peace. Cross is on the prowl. Torque is going in, guns blazing. Tied away, made to wash them away. Melina's ready to take flight. Robo S and Robo Red are ready to go. Jake can feel his power growing. They'll stop Pizza Cutter. Pizza Man. Pizza Man.
It was time for the final fight. We had come so far. It was just me and Pizza Man to fight against Pizza Cutter. We heard ruckus downstairs as we determined that Bones, a skeleton, wasn't here to attack Jake, but rather help him with these demons. And we were right, as we got a transmission from Jake saying that Bones was just there to help him out by the order of Hades, the Greek god of the underworld and current ruler of hell. This is very interesting for us to learn about some of the odd stuff going on, but it did not matter. We had work to do. We stood our ground against Pizza Cutter as he began the first attack. He threw his blade right at me, but I dodged it quickly before getting up close to him, getting several quick strikes that hit hard as I shifted my normal quick striking fighting style to a heavier hitting one right before it hit, allowing me to hit him quickly, but just as hard. Pizza Man used his sword to stab it right into Pizza Cutter. It wasn't the most effective thing in the world, but it certainly did something. Quickly, he grabbed my arm and tried to twist it, but I pulled out my gun and shot him in the head. His helmet protected him, but the blast was enough to annoy him and get him off our trail. For a bit as we managed to escape around him, I grabbed a nearby chainsaw, threw it at his legs, cutting them both, although it didn't completely cut them off and he could still walk. He now had a limp on one of the legs, as one in particular got it the worst, while the other got a few minor cuts. It was a quick charge. He began to throw around Pizza Man like a rag doll before Pizza Man turned the pizza sauce. It was right before a blow that would have killed him was landed. Quickly, I tackled Pizza Cutter into the next floor by using a bounce pad and grabbing him as I was launched. Pizza Man quickly grew big enough to get to this next floor to aid me, then quickly shrank back down, landing onto the ground. And proceeding to help me against Pizza Cutter, we grabbed chains and wrapped them around him and started to get a good beat down on him until he managed to break free of the chains. And thanks to the help of Mecha Pizza firing an energy blast. But quickly I kicked Pizza Cutter down and then quickly shot Mecha Pizza with a rocket launcher, just sending him through the building. Eventually, Pizza Man was knocked out. So eventually the fight continued up until we got onto the roof of the tower and proceeded to continue fighting each other. You took away my home! My childhood, my whole life ruined because of you! I punched Pizza Cutter as hard as I could, breaking off his helmet. It didn't matter that he looked like Pizza Man. I continued to beat him down. I threw off my mask and visor to show him how much I changed my beard, my robotic eye, as my robotic eye began to turn, allowing me to automatically control my pistol, firing every which way, all of which eventually managed to hit him. I stabbed him in the stomach with the Triton, and Aqua gave me, as a portal, a rift began to open. And without hesitation, I kicked Pizza Cutter into it as he screamed, "No! No! You can't do this to me!" The rift closed. I walked away without hesitation. All of us regrouped as we needed to stabilize our dimension that was falling apart. It was time to make the signal. We sent the signal to Quint, and he opened up the rift to the home dimension and the meme lords. They fired off blasts. That's the energy reconstituting the dimension. Bones even helped out, using some of his chaos energy to control or tame some of the chaos. And even Hades, the god of the underworld, appeared. "Hi, Jake! Long time no see. Sup, Hades?" Wait, you didn't mention you were actually friends with Hades. "Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, people misinterpret him as a villain. He ain't that bad." Now, let's stabilize the living world. And so he did. It was decided that we needed to do something about Pizza Cutter eventually, but that wasn't much of a problem. He was lost to the rifts for the time being. And then we began rebuilding. Me and Aqua chatted about stuff as I gave her back the trident. She said, "Thanks for not getting a scratch on it, buddy," giving me a light punch to the shoulder. We eventually ended our conversation as Pizza Man told me something. "Yeah, Mom, never thought she'd be the one to do Pizza Cutter in once and for all, as he likely ain't getting out of those wrists. We were barely able to get out of them." Yeah, hopefully he goes on years on end in them while we only have to deal with 6 months. Yeah, let him suffer his woes, let him die of old age. It's all comes back around. It's what comes around goes around. And not quite sure what to say here, but regardless, you did good, mate. And that was all I needed to hear. We eventually made it to where, with Pizza Cutter no longer around, the battle was finally won, and our crew, returned to the junkyard, now bigger than ever, as it is now Pizza Man, myself, Sarah, Aqua, Jake, Tidal Wave, Melina, Cross, and Twerk. We're all together. As to the Wolf and Imp we met from the rifts, Howler and Bads, they had their own adventures to go on, as they, at that point, were around our same age, 19 to 20. See, and apparently, on the day of Howler's 18th birthday, they ended up seeing a whole event where their dimension kind of got merged into ours. So the anthropomorphic people of their dimension being went into the history of ours. It is just simply as experiments like Cross, mutations. They themselves and their crew remember their dimension. And for the past couple years, they've been exploring the rift, and they just haven't to be knocked out, we learned, as we would end up encountering them during the rebuilding process, as they themselves decide to move into Neo City. But as for what happens next, I have no idea, as I'm writing this just after we had gone back to the junkyard. "Oi, Rogue, stop writing in your data thing and help us out. It's time to set up the cable TV in this place." Coming. End of Rogue's log.